You're welcome, Grand Rapids.
Good evening, Grand Rapids. Welcome to NewsFlash. I'm your anchor, Audrey.
And I'm your other anchor, Saxony.
And Mercury is in retrograde again. So you know what that means. A bunch of men are about to look up what happens when Mercury is in retrograde, and probably get it wrong. Meanwhile, we looked up the world, national, and local news you may have missed.
You're welcome, Grand Rapids. This is
NewsFlash! For our top story tonight, on the topic of whether or not Americans should be worried about Iran retaliating on U.S. soil, Trump said the most reassuring thing he could have possibly said. I guess, like I said, some people will die. Which is almost exactly what Lord Farquaad said in Shrek. In fact, the exact quote was, "Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make." But honestly, considering how that movie ends, a little reassuring if you think about it.
Kristi Noem was fired by Trump from her job as head of Homeland Security. Oh no! Said absolutely no one. Her replacement? You're not gonna believe this. Air Bud. What a wild bit of irony there. There's apparently no rule that says a dog can't be a cabinet member.
Don't get too excited. Noem is still in the cabinet, just not at Homeland. She's got a cushy new title as Special Envoy of the Shield of the Americas, which is not a Winter Soldier reference despite her Ice Queen look. It's basically a new war on drug cartels, so look forward to her latest cosplay photo shoot.
The real new proposed head of DHS and high school basketball coach, who also sometimes subs for the normal teachers, Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, is a former contractor and MMA fighter from Oklahoma who literally dribbles a basketball in the hall of the Capitol. So he might as well be Air Bud.
And longtime West Michigan meteorologist Terry DeBoer announced that she's running for Congress, but there's a 55% chance of it turning into a Senate run later in the forecast. Can't wait for her to pee on her collective leg and tell us it's trickle down.
It is rumored that Kim Jong-un's daughter will be named his successor after several public appearances together in North Korea. Oh, great. Another Nepo baby in the industry. However, having a woman as a supreme leader, that's progressive. The future of fascism is female. Happy belated National Women's Day, everybody.
After partying next to, but not exactly with, the head of the FBI and a guy who's definitely taking his job super seriously, Kash Patel, the U.S. men's hockey team visited the White House where they gave Trump a gold medal. Trump just loves receiving awards that were never meant for him. At this rate, someone's gonna hand him a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award, and he's gonna say something stupid like, "Hope they don't slime me." Meanwhile, the women's team got to party in Vegas with Flava Flav. And even though one of them may or may not have gotten accidentally married, overall, seems like a better situation. Yeah, boy.
Today is National Get Over It Day. And if you don't like it, it's okay.
Today's also National Panic Day, which is perfect for those of us who don't like that today is National Get Over It Day. And it's also National Nap Day. So you can really just cover all your bases and get yourself worked up and find some closure and then sleep it all off.
You just know that some of these were created by millennials. I mean, isn't Panic Day every day right now? Also, National Nap Day and National Get Over It Day coming right after daylight savings. That is gaslighting.
But good news, it's also National Barbie Day, False Teeth Day, Fill Your Staplers Day, Crab Meat Day, and Meatball Day. Man, some people just really needed to take a day for themselves, didn't they? So if you find yourselves torn between the battle of fans of meat from crabs and meat in ball form, stop laughing. And this stress is causing your enamel to decay. Get a set of false teeth. Don't panic, a nap is in order. Get yourself over your stress by doing chores and fill up your office staplers and watch the Barbie movie.
Shifting on that, a couple was refused service at a Smoothie King in Ann Arbor over wearing Trump hoodies. Technically, making it the first time Trump supporters participated in #NoKings.
The upcoming Traverse City Cherry Festival is celebrating its 100th anniversary with country stars Chase Matthew, David Parker, and Lauren Elena. Names that are so dull and generic, I bet you didn't realize that our writers completely made up one of them. But it turns out there actually is a David Parker in country music. He just won't be at the Cherry Fest. Looks like he's gonna have to wait a bit longer for the big times.
Detroit Lions player Terrian Arnold has been linked to a kidnapping and robbery plot over an Airbnb burglary. More like Air, B, and E. To put it in football terms, personal foul, defense 0, number 0, 15-yard penalty, and still first down.
And a tribe in Brazil on the brink of extinction recently welcomed a baby boy who's already become a symbol of hope for the continued survival of the tribe's unique culture. So no gap year for you. Sorry, bud. It could be worse. My parents just wanted me to move out. I couldn't even keep my houseplant alive. I couldn't keep my dog alive either. What I'm saying is that my dog ate my highly toxic sago palm. Anyway, congrats to this tribe. And rest in peace, Sprinkles.
In entertainment news, analysts predict HBO Max could shut down as part of the Paramount-Warner Brothers merger to consolidate their streaming platforms. I know you're bummed. So they're keeping Paramount Plus. Really? The streaming service everyone discovers when checking their bank statement. That's the one that survives? Although they might try to pivot to family-friendly programming through a new joint platform, Mount Max.
Speaking of PP, and you can't make me call it anything besides that, they finally announced their long-gestating Garfield TV show. In accordance with the new leadership and FCC equal time rules, this orange tabby will now have an obsession with McDonald's and live in the White House.
In honor of the aforementioned National Meatball Day, Subway issued an ambitious press release stating it intends to sell 1 million meatballs in a single day, dubbing today Million Meatball Monday. An event surely to excite only single guys and a sad counterpart to International Women's Day. I heard some woo.
Their goal? To sell more meatballs than every Scandinavian furniture company combined. Ooh, that's a feisty meatball. If late-stage capitalism is good for one thing, it's watching the heads of corporate marketing subtweet each other like snarky teenagers.
It is interesting that after years of bad PR, Subway is suddenly deciding to embrace the bad boy look. IKEA hasn't even fired back yet. Not even a, Your art, your red, eh? That's my Swedish. Because watching Subway get petty is like watching your friend who's had a rough life try to roast you. They've been through so much. Just sit back in your skunas and let them get a few freebies in.
And pop artist Tate McRae is officially dating New Jersey Devils and Olympic hockey player Jack Hughes. For more on this story, ask your niece.
In other music-related news, Harry Styles released his new album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. Harry has said that the album title was inspired by your dad's taste in music. So it's, I wanna rock and roll all night, and ha, 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 staying alive occasionally.
And Ford announced last week that it has recalled over 800,000 Edge and Bronco models. The identified defect can cause issues with the rear camera and inaccurate video feeds. Ford has employed the Ying Yang twins to caution impacted drivers to get their car checked out before they back it up. When asked if Ford will reimburse drivers for chiropractor bills from having to crane their neck to check for obstacles, they replied, "We can't afford that."
In NewsFlash news, 30 sheep perished in a barn fire in my hometown of Middleville last week. I know, it was devastating for us all. Said Farmer Pete, "I'll never be able to get to sleep after this.